Thank you. I now recognize myself. Again, I love Elijah Cummings, puts his heart into it and cares, and I think we all do. I don't think this is a partisan issue, but there are public policy issues that we have to deal with. And Mr. Root, I wanted to put up a picture, if it's all right with you, of Sarah. This is your daughter there. How long ago was that picture?
She graduated the 30th of January. She died January 31st. That night, or after graduation during the day, she went out with her mom and my mom's side of the family, and they had something to eat, and I was helping a friend do some work, and I asked if she wanted to have a steak and crab legs with us, but no, she wanted to go celebrate her graduation with a friend. And I had her in the driveway, blocked in with my vehicle, and she moved her vehicle. I'm sorry, I moved my vehicle. I was parked behind her, and she parked her vehicle on the street. And she walked back up after parking her vehicle and hugged me and gave me a big old hug, and it was like a death hug, you know. She said, "I can't go nowhere without telling you I love you, Dad." And that's the last time I seen her alive before I identified her.
Well, you know, the strength that you exemplify here is just amazing to me. I've long said that it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things that I think I'm most impressed with. And people wake up and something happens and they don't think they're going to be sitting in this situation, and here you are testifying before Congress. And I want you to know in your heart it does make a difference, and that it's incumbent upon all of us to learn those lessons as clearly and as succinctly as you can. The person that is suspected of committing this, or that committed this murder, what had this person done previously that you, in your mind, justifies deportation?
Well, first of all, he was 16 or 17 when he was, or 15 or 16 was he identified in Arizona, I believe. And he was released to his brother, who was another illegal. You know, to me, they should have been both deported at that time. You're both entering the country illegally. You know, there's two. If he would have been deported, we wouldn't be in this boat right now. And then the traffic offenses he committed where he was going the wrong way and didn't failure to show up for that, I think. And he might have had a couple other, I know he had one where he didn't seatbelt a child in. I mean, I don't have that information right in front of me. I know he had 2 or 3 other times where he was supposed to be in court and he didn't show up. This was prior to the incident with my daughter. And that, you know, with the judge deal, that should have been all public record. I mean, in this day and age, you know, you should be able to push that computer and it should show everything. And prior to releasing him, he was in jail for 4 days, 4 to 5 days. So, you know, they were claiming they didn't know his immigration status, and the county prosecutor didn't, you know, give us this information. And to me, you know, that's, you know, if a guy's in jail for 4 days, it gives you plenty of time to figure it out. You know, you should know in 15 minutes, pretty much all of it. I mean, I don't do legal work, but it's just a common sense issue, you know. And the way his name's spelled, and I'm not trying to be prejudiced, because like I said, my mother was an immigrant. That would probably tell you that he's probably, you know, not, you know, just like Bob Smith or something, you know. You might want to do a background check. Just common sense, you know, not to the point where even where you're a judge and you're supposed to be highly educated to protect the public. To me, you failed.
Yeah, and Mr. Burbank, look, you served the people of Utah for a long period of time. And I may not be able to convince you or change your mind, but I do want to offer another perspective. I want you to be able to offer another perspective, and I want to offer one as well. Because I believe in the principle of restitution. You steal a candy bar, you put it back or you pay for it. You break a window, you pay for it. You're here illegally, you go home. And so I think you do it, for me personally, I think you do the need for some immigration reform, which I agree with. I think we need to fix legal immigration. I think it's broken. I think we're failing those people who are trying to do it legally and lawfully. But we're doing it to the advantage of the people who do break the laws and just blow past the laws of the land. And I think we need to stand more firm as a nation and say we are a nation of laws. And if you break them, there's a consequence to that. And right now, that's what I don't see happening. And that's what I see time and time again, just being dismissed as, well, that wouldn't have really helped. And there are a couple of things that you said that I'd like to ask you about. You said we couldn't deport our way out of this, but for somebody who's committed a serious crime, who's here illegally, remember, they're here illegally, they committed a crime, they're convicted of that crime, why shouldn't they all be deported? Why should we stand for that?
If they've committed a serious crime, I don't think there's a police chief in the nation that's not going to tell you they shouldn't be deported or dealt with appropriately. But we should not move outside the laws or the Constitution in order to obtain that. Now, we have unfortunate circumstances where people fall in a category, but our criminal justice system adjudicates this. Now, if part of that is they are adjudicated and then we fail, I mean, there's no question we've identified today that there's failures in the system.
So would you agree that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement is required by law to have a minimum of 34,000 beds, but they're only in the 30,000 range? That means there's a good, in any time, 2,000 to 4,000 people that should be detained, could be detained, that the Congress funded to be detained, and they don't do that. Now, you don't work for ICE, you don't work for Homeland Security, but can you see the frustration that there are literally thousands of people that are here illegally as criminal aliens and they're not being detained? Not because they haven't been funded, not because it's not the law, just because the Homeland Security folks and the Obama administration decide, no, that's probably not in our best interest. But why is that not in the best interest of the United States of America?
If we have identified individuals, interestingly enough, I did work with ICE in order to come up with those people and to try and make the major city chiefs of the United States say, yes, we should deport those people who have committed serious criminal acts.
Do you think driving under the influence falls to that level?
I think laws such as that fall into the category that they should be adjudicated as they do with someone else. We've identified a shortcoming. Do you realize there are people driving around in this country now that are citizens that have 4 and 5 DUI arrests in the past that we haven't dealt with appropriately either? And so we're looking
but
at
I'm
a flaw
asking
in
you,
the
for
system.
somebody who's here illegally and convicted of a DUI, do you believe they should be immediately deported?
A DUI is a Class B misdemeanor in the state of Utah.
I'm asking
And so,
you, do you
no, I do not.
So you think somebody who's here illegally drives under the influence, it's in the best interest of this country to leave them in the United States?
I think it's in the best interest of this country to follow the standard set forth so that you have equal.
I'm asking you what you think the standard should be. I deport all of them. You commit a crime in this country, you're out of here. Guess what? You did jump to the front of the line. That's the deportation line. So why shouldn't we deport that person?
Well, and this is where you and I absolutely disagree, because I think that we have a practice in place in how we adjudicate things, and I think there needs to be some fairness and equity in that system. And when there's not, when we identify people and they have harsher penalties because of the color of their skin or the language they speak.
I never said anything about the color of their skin. That's your words, not mine. I never said that. I said they're here illegally. And that knows no bounds, right? Name a country that doesn't have somebody here illegally. It happens from the entire world. Why shouldn't we deport that person?
One, I don't think we have the capacity to reach that. And then two, this is the same.
So you think it's saving money is more important?
No. But what I'm telling you is this is no different than tax code. This is a civil penalty. It's not a criminal penalty enforceable in the state of Utah as a crime.
This is where
you can only be detained and deported for this. You cannot be jailed or fined for being in the country undocumented.
And you should be deported. That would solve all the problems. That would solve all the problems right there. My time has expired. We'll now recognize Mr. Grothman of Wisconsin.
Thank you. I'm not going to follow